Yo, yo, what's good, y'all, man? We got Sony live action Miles Morales official announcement of Marvel Studios Spider-Man 4. So, yeah, though, man, they finally announced it. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of figure, like, it's going to be live. Because even though they show, like, a little sneak peek. Or they show, like, little posters of all four of them. You know what I mean? Tom Holland, Toby, and Andrew. You feel me? So I kind of figured it's gonna be a live action somewhere, cause I mean, you gotta realize we only in part 1. Part 2 gonna be live action, I believe so. You know what I mean? This is only part 1. That's why I was thinking about. I'm like, this is only part 1. You know what I mean? Part 2 gonna be even more crazier. So you know what I mean? But I kind of feel they're gonna do a live action somewhere. You feel me? And yeah, it might be a live action in the part 2, or you know what I mean, or Spider-Man 4. I don't know, but we gotta see what the announcement, man. Say like it, sub, hit the bell, and yeah, Miles Morales. But who gonna be the actor of Miles Morales though? We just gotta find out.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, for Marvel Studios, we know when and where to expect huge announcements. During the summer at San Diego Comic-Con Hall H, and in early fall at D23. It's the precedent they've set, and while they have done some pre-recorded announcements in the past, it is a fan event that everyone looks forward to. But for Sony, it's a little bit different. They don't have that history or track record of presentations yet. They've been at San Diego Comic-Cons in the past, but real recently, as we've waited for a Spider-Man 4 announcement, they've been completely quiet. And when they did show up at CinemaCon earlier this year, after canceling 2 presentations last year, there was no word on Spider-Man 4 or anything of the such, other than the upcoming Craven film. Well, today, a huge article just dropped in Variety with none other than Amy Pascal, the producer who's been in charge of live-action Spider-Man IP pretty much since Sony's been making those films, with a ton of reveals, a live-action Miles Morales film, an animated Spider-Woman spin-off. She said it's all happening. We're going to break down what's exactly in this article, what she says about Spider-Man 4, and now what we can expect from the Sony Spider-Verse that is peeling off in almost every direction. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews, to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So, if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway, which is just weeks away now to coincide with Secret Invasion. Again, all you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment on this video if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So Variety just dropped this article, literally breaking in the last 15 minutes, and this is what it said, quote, as
Spider-Man producer teased live action Miles Morales movie and anime Spider-Man Woman film is all happening. Oh, okay. They spent all the beans.
The producers behind the trilogy have their attention.
But I hope it's true and they ain't hyping up the fans though. You know what I mean? You feel me? You know, cause I know they ain't really, you know what I mean? They do that stuff. Don't do it. But I hope it's happening though.
That on the 3rd installment, next year's Beyond the Spider-Verse. However, that's not the only web-slinging project that's on their minds. Producer Amy Pascal says a Spider-Woman and live-action Miles
1,000 subs on Twitch. Each sub is worth $5, so your payout should be $5 grand. But Twitch
Morales movie are in the works. You'll see all of it. She told me Tuesday at the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse premiere in Los Angeles. It's all happening. Producer Avi Arad teased that moviegoers will see a, quote, Spider-Woman movie, quote, sooner than you expect. I cannot tell you yet, but it's coming, he said. They go on to report that, quote, Pascal said the 4th Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland and Zendaya is still in the works, but writer's strike has paused the development. Quote, we're going to make another movie? Of course we are. We're in the process, but the writer's strike, nobody's working during the strike. We're all being supporters, and whenever they get themselves together, we'll get started. Sony boss Tom Rothman was much more cagey about the future. He laughed, if I told you, I'd have to kill you. So of course, a lot of this report is in response to the premiere of Across the Spider-Verse last night. When they were on the red carpet, there was a lot of access for reporters, and they were peppering them with all these kinds of questions. We already knew that they were pressing forward on Spider-Man 4. Thankfully, Amy Pascal on behalf of Sony and Kevin Feige on behalf of Marvel Studios announced that officially just days after Spider-Man No Way Home hit theaters, to basically put all of the Marvel fans' minds at rest that they were going to continue forward. But the big reveal here is that not only did she name drop Tom Holland, but Zendaya as well, also confirming her to come back. And I think
so she's coming back too. A lot of people's like saying Zendaya might not come back Tom, well, you know Tom Holland, but you know Zaya, you know she like question mark. Even she like I don't know. But I mean, at least they said Zaya coming back, so at least that put some fans in rest of like, okay, Zaya coming back, I bet. You know what I mean? Now on the rest of the cast, probably the other boy too. I think you know the other homeboy, but yeah.
I think that there was always a little holdover from the Easter egg of her having the Black Dahlia necklace broken, still wearing it.
Yeah, because people was like, cause I did, you know, cause they were saying she ain't gonna remember Tom Holland, so that's why I said it wasn't no point to bring her back. But if they bringing her back, she gonna remember Tom Holland. You know how, because Marvel's, you know, you can do anything with Marvel movies, or you know, Sony, whatever, you know, shit. But yeah, you can do anything. So they gonna remember Tom Holland somehow, some way in the movie though. No cap.
The post-credit scene,
So,
there was always going to
if
be
they bring her back, she gonna remember Tom Holland.
some sort of
Something like
reunion
that.
there. But she confirmed what we already knew. They were in the process of working on the script. Now everything's been shut down in Hollywood because of the writer's strike, so they won't have an update for that until everything is worked out, which is what I said days ago in the video about San Diego Comic-Con. Fingers crossed they won't cancel that, but if the actors end up going on strike on July 1st, I just can't see Marvel Studios trying to drum up hype on a stage where they can't invite any of the actors, writers, or directors, and they don't really have any updates because they don't know when they're going to get it together. And if you haven't heard in a previous video, because a lot of you have been asking, the latest report was the major standout was Netflix, that Disney, all these other competitors were willing to come to the table and make the negotiations happen to get forward with working, but that Netflix was not willing to make the concessions and they were the holdout. So hopefully, fingers crossed, things have progressed there and at least somewhat soon. In the meantime, this is a major update for Spider-Man 4.
Nah, this is a big update.
Really, the live-action Miles Morales movie is super interesting, and you have to wonder if their whole plan isn't to set that off on the side of the Sonyverse, where the possible Spider-Geddon that we talked about in today's earlier video, where it was confirmed that Sydney Sweeney will indeed be playing Julia Carpenter's Spider-Woman in the upcoming Madam Web. That Miles Morales is who's going to face off against the Sinister Six that they've been building out with a Vulture, a Kraven, a Morbius. Why else put this Rogue Gallery's solo villains films together? Why else hire these actors and push this forward if the plan wasn't eventually to have a Sinister Six? And I always thought they'd want to cash Tom Holland in on that. But can you imagine a live-action Miles Morales movie with the Sinister Six that's already been set up, with all of these actors and characters coming together, and then we get live-action Miles Morales? And, you know, while there is rumors now that we're going to see some live-action in the upcoming animated Across the Spider-Verse, much in the way we saw animated action back in Multiverse of Madness, basically canonizing it both ways, I think really, for me, keeping the live-action animated stuff separate for the most part is cool, and when you make that jump, you make that jump. And I have to wonder if it isn't going to be the Across the Spider-Verse trilogy, the Beyond the Spider-Verse trilogy, Miles Morales animated version, that we see translate into a live action version and then eventually crossing over with the Sinister Six. It is a wild, wild plan. And I know Kevin Feige has been out there for the last 2 or 3 years slinging the advice that basically do not try to copy the MCU, do not stake your entire ambition on building a connected universe. It's too hard. Basically, also look at how Marvel's been doing here recently. They bit off a lot. And when you get past some of that initial IP and get into some of the secondary IP that Marvel had really been trying to push, obviously it didn't do as well. There's a future, I think, for all of this to work, but it's got to work initially. If they come out of the gate and the rated R Kraven is cool, but the Madam Web completely bombs, it's really hard to be like, yeah, keep pushing for Spider-Geddon if they can't get it straight until then. But to be able to play devil's advocacy's sake and for just a second, and to point directly to Miles Morales, this Across the Spider-Verse trilogy is absolutely killing it. And while I think always the plan has been to get Tom Holland's Peter Parker, the billion-dollar Spider-Man they've got in the MCU, to put the exclamation point on their Sonyverse, I think it's now in a new spot where Miles Morales would be more than capable of doing that in a live-action capacity. Do I think he'll still cross over with Tom Holland eventually? Yes. Do I think if they do this fast enough and if they slow down enough on the MCU, they could even work Miles Morales into Secret Wars? Because he was a huge part of that 2015 Jonathan Hickman run that we still assume that they're going to draw from, of course. And this all plays into the rumor as well that we would see Tom Holland and Miles Morales even side by side in the upcoming Spider-Man 4. Either way, guys, this is a super exciting promise, and while it is hard to give Sony credit, the Across the Spider-Verse trilogy is definitely doing just that. They also nailed Spider-Man No Way Home in the face of all that expectation. So really, Sony, as of late, should be given a lot of credit. Now we have Rated R Craven and Madam Web around the corner. I will also say, where maybe I wasn't too hyped for Madam Web earlier, I am very...
Nah, Craven Hunter, Rated R, I ain't hyped like that. But when I see that trailer, I might change my mind though. I ain't gonna lie, I might change my mind.
Very curious now what this film is going to be like, considering how much weight they're putting on it. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below as always. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff.
But yeah though, that was a major update, man. Live Morales. We see how when they, you know, how they do it, man. How, you know, we see, man. But hey, like it or sub. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know comment down below. And yeah, alright, peace.